Daksh Tyagi. I'm ESC Superstar, and my story title is I am afraid of the dark. Little Edward was afraid of the darkness. He never stepped out of his home after evening. One evening, Edward's father said, I have to go out of the town for 2 days. Little Edward and his mother waved goodbye to father. At night, Edward was doing his homework. Suddenly, his mother cried out in pain. Edward rushed toward her. He saw that his mother was lying on the floor near the staircase. She had fallen from the stairs and fainted. The phone was out of the order. Edward thought, now the only option is to go to the hospital and get a doctor. Edward looked outside. It was too dark and the hospital was at a distance. He gathered all his courage and ran towards the hospital. The doctor came with and treat his mom. While resting on bed, his mother asked him, my little boy, why are you not afraid of the dark? Edward smiled and replied, I am a big boy now. Mom, I have to take care of you. And the moral of the story is be brave and face your fear with confidence. And this is my second story, and this story title is The Broken Vase. Pete and Mary were brother and sister. One day, their mother brought a beautiful flower vase made of crystal. She warned the children, it is very fragile. Be careful. In the evening, Pete was playing with his ball inside the house. He threw the ball in the air and the ball landed straight on the vase. And then the sound comes crack. The vase broke into pieces. Pete got scared. He immediately went to his mother and lied. Mom, Mary broke the flower vase. His mother saw the broken vase and called out in anger, Mary, come here. Mary went to her mother and the mother started scolding her. I had asked you to be careful with the vase and you broke it. Mary started crying. She said, Mom, I was playing outside. I don't know who broke the vase. Pete felt sorry that Mary was getting a scolding and told the truth. Mom, I am sorry. I lied to you. I broke the vase. By mistake, please don't scold Mary, Mother said. Pete, telling the truth takes a lot of courage. Always admit you mistake. And the moral of my story is telling the truth makes you more courageous. And and now my third story is the broken spectacles. One day the class teacher, Miss Erin, told the student, kids, we all must always speak the truth. The student said together, yes ma'am. Ding dong, the recess bell rang. Student rushed outside to play. Smith suggested to his friend, let us play in this classroom today. It is so hot outside. They all agreed. They started playing. Suddenly, Pete stepped on one something. He heard a sound crack. He looked down and he stepped on Miss Erin's spectacles, which she had forgotten on their chair. Smith suggested, it is better if we keep quiet. Peter If you will tell Miss Erin about it, you will be punished. The recess get over. All the students return to class. Miss Erin returned the class, entered the class. See, saw the Peter was standing. She asked him, "Why are you standing, Peter?" Peter replied, "Ma'am, you taught us to be truthful. By mistake, I broke your spectacles. I am ready for any punishment." Miss Erin praised Peter for his truthfulness and obstinance with did not punish him. Instead, she gave him a chocolate reward. And the title and the moral is obedience is praiseworthy and builds your character. And my fourth story is the strawberry ice cream. One day, Emily went to the market with her mother. She saw an ice cream popular. She requested her mother, "Mom, please buy me a strawberry ice cream." They went to the parlor and brought a strawberry ice cream. As soon as Emily got the ice cream, the toe was wrapper and started eating it. She threw the wrapper crazily on the road. Emily's mother picked up the wrapper. She quietly slipped the wrapper inside Emily's bag. At home, when Emily opened her bag, she saw the dirty wrapper. She shouted, "Mom, how come this dirty wrapper in my school bag?" Her mother came to her and said, "Emily, you want your bag to be clean." In the same way, we must keep our surrounding clean. You throw the wrapper on the road, you should have thrown it in a dustbin. Emily apologized and hugged her mother. And the title is keep and the moral is keep your surrounding clean. And my next story is the video game. Frank was a hard working boy. Due to his hard work, he always came first in the class. On his birthday, his parent gifted him a video game. Frank jumped with joy. Frank loved playing his video games so much that he started ignoring his studies. He thought, "Why should I waste my time in studies? I am so good that I not need to work hard. I will study one day before the test and surely get full marks." One day, before the test, Frank started studying. But when he opened his book, he panicked. "Oh, there is too much to study. I don't think I can cover the entire syllabus in a day." Frank took the test. The result came. The class teacher said, "Frank, you are the most hardworking student of our class. I do not understand how you failed." Frank left very bad and started crying. He told his teacher the entire story. The teacher said, "Frank, hard work makes us intelligent. Does not matter how good we are at something. We must never stop working hard." Frank understood the started studying every day again. And the moral is hard working makes us better. And my fifth story is a broken promise. Mary and Sarah were best friends. One day, Mary told Sarah, "Oh, Sarah, I am so excited. I am throwing a surprise party for all our classmates. They will know about it when they get this invitation card. So let it stay a secret till then." Alice. Sarah could not keep this secret. Next day, she told everyone about the party. The surprise party was not a promise. Everyone, when Mary came to know about this, she got angry with Sarah. She went to her and said angrily, "You went broken your promise. You couldn't even keep a little secret. I will never talk to you." Sarah apologized about Mary, but Mary did not forgive her. At home, Mary told her mother everything. Her mother smiled and said, "Good friends are rare. Never let these small things ruin your friendship." She made a mistake and apologized. "You should forgive her. Now call her," and asked her to come over. Mary understand. She called Sarah. Sarah came and outside said, "I am again very sorry, Mary." Mary smiled and said, "It is all right, Sarah. I am sorry too. I am sorry too. I should have forgiven you when you apologized first. Now you help us color these greeting cards." And the moral of the story is forgive people if they realize their mistake. Now, this is my sixth story. The story name is The Rose Plant. One day, Smith's father gifted him a beautiful rose plant. He told Smith, "Son, now you have to take care of this plant. Water it every day." Smith happily took the plant and kept it on the terrace. In the evening, Smith was watching his favorite cartoon on television. Suddenly, he reminded, "Oh, I have to water the rose plant. But if I go now, I will miss my favorite cartoon show. I will water it tomorrow." He started watching television again. Next day, while playing with his football, Smith again remembered about the plants. "I have to water the plant, but I am playing right now. I will identically do it tomorrow." Like this, every day Smith keep on postponing his task to the next day. One day his father said, "Let us see how much the plants has grown." They went to the terrace. His father exclaimed, "How? The plant was withering." "Smith, did you water the plant every day?" Smith shook his head and told his father the truth. Smith's father said, "Son, what can be done today should never be postponed to tomorrow." Smith apologized and promised to always complete his work on time. And the moral of the story is, don't postpone today's work on tomorrow. And my last story is The Glass of Milk. A hard-working boy used to sell goods from door to door to earn money to pay his school fees. One bright sunny day, while selling goods, he felt very hungry. He knocked on the door of a house. A girl opened the door. Instead of asking her food, the boy asked her for a glass of water. Seeing the little boy is miserable condition, the girl gave him a large glass of milk. The boy asked, "How much should I pay for it?" The girl smiled and said, "Nothing." The boy worked hard and studied well. He grew up to become a famous doctor. Dr. Howard Kelly, a specialist in treating rare diseases. When a woman become critically ill, the doctor attending her called a specialist. Dr. Howard Kelly was called in. He recognized the lady as the girl who had helped him, him by giving him a glass of milk in his days of poverty. Dr. Kelly's treatment helped the lady to recover fully. The hospital sent the bill to Dr. Kelly for approval. He wrote, paid in full with one glass of milk. When the lady saw the bill, she recalled the incident which had taken place years ago and smiled. And the moral of the story is an act of kindness always pays. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Yashashvi Sudan. Today I will speak some stories. So my first story is The Wise Turtle. A fox used to be very proud of its wisdom. Often he boasted, I am the wisest of the all animals. One day he went in search of food. He could not find anything. He could not bear his hunger. As he about to give up his search, when he finally saw a turtle, he was so happy that he sprang and caught out hold of the turtle. The fox began to break the shell of the turtle, but what a pity! However hard he tried, he could not break. The turtle piously told to the fox, why not you soak me in the water? My shell became soft and you can easily eat me. In his hunger, the fox lost his thoughts and led the turtle into the nearby pond. The turtle happily slipped out the hands and of the fox and swam into the pond. He came up at the center of the pond and said, hey fox, don't be so proud of your wisdom. Moral of the story is there is always a better than a good. My second story is The Crow with Wisdom. Two crows had a challenge. They decided to see who could fly highest. It was finalized that both of crows would choose a sack of similar size and start flying. The first crow inspected the sack and chose a sack of salt. He thought it might rain, cloud or black. The second crow laughed at the first crow and he chose a sack of cotton. The thought, what a fool he is to carry a bag of sack salt. I am going to win. Both of the crows were ready. The time came and both starting flying. They began to fly higher and higher. All of a sudden, it started raining. And you know what happened? The salt in the sack of the first crow dissolved. The cotton in that of the second got soaked and became heavy. Who won the challenge? The moral of the story is a thought of the future will help a little better. My third story is The thoughtful horse. Once a horse was grazing on a meadow. He was so engaged in his grazing that he missed to notice a wolf for long time, and when he took notice of the wolf it was too late to run away. The wise horse thought of a trick and started enacting it. He began to climb across the field. The wolf thought, "This is my chance." He came near the horse and asked, "Hello, horse, why are you limping?" The horse replied, "A horn had picked into my hoof." The wolf said, "Well, I know you pull out horns. Can I help you?" The wolf began to take hold of the horse's leg, but what a pity! Before he could catch the leg, he was flying up in the air. The horse had given a mighty kick. The moral of the story is a pint of thoughtful thought saves you a lot. My fourth story is The Silly and the Wise. It was a hot summer day. Not many animals came out to graze. A wolf was very hungry. He could not get any prey. At last he saw a goat grazing nearby. The silly wolf was so happy that he started to snarl before he sprang on the goat. The snarl had altered the goat, and as the wolf sprang, the goat began to run. The wolf started chasing the goat. Both began to run with their full might. It so ended that the goat was on top of a rock and the wolf was below the rock. The goat said, amongst great having you silly wolf, instead of chasing me, you just open your mouth and I will jump into it. The silly wolf opened its mouth wide open. The goat jumped down, not into the wolf mouth but on the wolf head. The wolf got crashed. The moral of the story is greed steals always away wisdom. My fifth story is The Big and the Small. There lived a mouse at the foot of a big mountain. Every day the mountain saw with pity the small creature running here and there. One day, as the mouse engaged from his hole, the mountain said, "You poor creature, how small you are." The mouse replied, "What is the problem with my size?" The mountain said, "See how big I am. I can withstand big winds and clouds kneel before me." He added, "Big things have big advantages." The little mouse said humbly, "Yes, I agree with you are big, but can you stop me from drilling holes right at your foot?" The mountain was ashamed at his pride. The moral of the story is tiny things have their own value. My sixth story is Descriptions of a tag. It is a known fact that tags have beautiful antlers. The tag are proud of their branched out lantern. Once a tag was enjoying a beauty of his lantern on his reflection in the pond water. The thought, what beautiful lantern I have! They are the most beautiful of all. The tag looked down at his legs and got so sad. He once again said to himself, look at my legs. They are so lean and bony. They are the youngest of all. At that moment he heard the growling of a tiger. He started running. His legs took him fast away from the tiger. But what a pity his lanterns got entangled with a bush of horns and would not get free. The tag tried hard to get the lanterns free, but in vain. At last he began to kick front and back, and what a surprise! The tag got free. Now his thoughts have changed. The moral of the story is Mira beauty without utility is of no value. My seventh story is Goats Across a Bridge. There was a lushy meadow. Across this meadow ran a brookie. There was a bridge to connect the two parts of the meadow. Animals used to cross the bridge to graze on both these parts of the meadow. One, two, once two goats who were grazing on either sides of the river wanted to cross the bridge at the same time, but the bridge meant to cross the same time. This led to be squirrel among them. At the end, both fell into brook and got drowned. There were two other goats who wanted to cross the bridge. There they were both standing in nature. They were willing to adjust. One goat squawked on the bridge while the other crossed over the goat. After the goat had crossed, the goat which had squawked got up and walked across the bridge. Thus both the goats were crossed the bridge. The moral of this story is pride leads to fall, patience pays. And my last story is the grateful mouse. There lived a lion in the forest bush. Near the bush lived a mouse in a hole. It was a hot day and the lion was taking rest after a long hunt. The playful mouse came out of his hole and started climbing up the down and the lion. His running of the mouse tick- tickled the lion, and he woke up. He caught the mouse and said, "You silly fool, you disturb my sleep. I am going to kill you." The mouse looked at the lion with glee in his face and replied humbly, "Oh, king of the forest, please do have mercy on this small creature. I have committed this mistake. If you excuse or pardon me, I will surely repay you in future." The lion was astonished by the bravery of the mouse, and he let the mouse free. Days passed. Once, when the lion went for a hunt, he got trapped in the net. He started roaring. The mouse heard the roaring and thought, "The lion must have been trapped. I should help him." He ran to the net and started groaning. Soon the net gave away and the lion got free. Moral of the story is, even tiny things can be of immense help. Thank you.
Good- the- Hello everyone, my name is Aradhna. I'm from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Today I will present a moral story. My moral story name is Repentance. One night, a woman read at the airport for boarding the flight, but she had to wait for several hours. So she went to the airport shops and bought a book and a bag of cookies. While she was while she was reading her book, she noticed that the man sitting beside her grabbed a cookie or two from the bag. The lady ignored him as she did not want to create a scene there. As the time passed by, she munched the cookies and watched the clock. Seeing that cookie thief finishing stock, finishing her stock, by the passing time, she was getting more and more irritated. If I were not nice, I would have blackened his eye. Every time she took one cookie, he took one. When the last cookie was left, that man nervously took that cookie and broke it into half. He offered other half to the lady. Seeing this, she snatched the other half from his hand and thought, "My God, this guy has some nerve that even after eating half of the cookies, he did not show any gratitude towards me." She was in relief when called for the flight. She gathered her things and sat on her seat, re- reading her book, which was almost complete. As she it reached her hand in her baggage. She was surprised to see that there was a bag of cookies in front of her eyes. This made her think if this was her own cookie bag or the other one from which she was eating. Then she was able to make out that the bag from which she ate belonged to the man, and even after that, he tried to share it with her. By the time she realized her mistake of being the rude one and the thief too, it was too late to apologize. Moral my moral of the story is we should not judge. It is a matter of perspective sometimes. My second story name is A Good Gesture. Naveen was a young mechanical engineer who had recently taken up an assignment at an ice plant in Meerut. It was almost the end of the day. Everyone had packed up to check out a technical snag developed in the plant, and Naveen, the mechanical engineer of the plant, went to the check. By the time Naveen finished, it was too late. The doors were sealed and the lights were off. Trapped inside the ice plant for the night without air and light, an icy grave was almost sure for him. As Park suddenly he found someone opening the door. Was it a miracle? The security guard entered there with a torch and helped him to come out. On the way back, Naveen asked the security guard, "How did you know that I was inside? Who informed you?" The guard said, "No one, sir. This unit has about 50 people, but you are has only one who says hello to me in the morning and bye in the evening." The guard said, "You had reported in the morning, but you did not check out. That made me suspicious." Naveen never knew that a small gesture of greeting someone would prove to be a lifesaver for him. Remember to greet when you meet someone, of course, with a warm smile. You never know, it may work like a miracle in your life too. My moral of the story is education is not a degree or certificate that can be shown to others as proof. It is our attitude, actions, language, and behavior with our others in life, in real life. My third story is A Treasure Box of Life. Once upon a time, there was a very hard-working farmer who lived in northern India. Thro- Through the many years of hard work, he had grown a vineyard that used to give him a rich crop of grapes every year. He had 4 sons. They were very lazy. They never bothered to help their father in his work. They were easygoing kind of people who never took responsibilities to work. He wanted to teach them the value of hard work. But the lazy son did not care for his advice. So the father was very worried about their future. Once day, the farmer fell ill. He was on the deathbed. He called his sons and said, I have buried a treasure in my field, but I do not remember the exact place. Dig it out after my death. After performing the last rituals of their father, they went to the field. They dug it from end to end, but they found nothing. They became sad. After a few days, it rained heavily. Someone advised them to sow seeds in the fields. They did the same. They got a good crop. They become rich. Now they understood the value of hard work. So the sons came to know that the real treasure that their father was talking about before his death was actually the good crops from the fields. Moral of the story is no pain, no gain. The fruit of hard work is sweeter than any gift. My fourth story is advise the good people. On a mango tree in a jungle, there lived many birds. They were happy in their small nests. Before the on onset of the rainy season, all the animals of the jungle repaired their homes. The birds also made their homes more secure. Many birds bought twigs and leaves, and others wove their nest. We should also store some food for our children. Stripped one of the birds and they collected food until they had enough to see them through the rainy season. They keep themselves busy preparing for the tough time. Soon the rain came. It was followed by thunder and lightning. All the animals and birds stayed inside their homes. It continued raining for many days. One day, a monkey wet in the rain came into the forest. He sat on a branch, shivering with cold water from its body. The poor monkey tried his best to get shelter, but in vain. The leaves were not enough to save him from the rain. Oh, it is so cold, said the monkey. The birds were watching everything. They felt sorry for the monkey, but there was little they could do for him. One of them said, "Brother, our small nests are not enough to give you shelter." Another bird said, "All of us prepared for the rainy season. If you had, you would not be in this pity situation. How dare you tell me what to do?" said the monkey, growling at the bird. The monkey angrily pounced on the bird's nest, tore it, and threw it on the ground. The bird and her chicks were helpless. The poor bird realized fools never value good advice. It is better not to advise them. Remember, wise men don't need advice. Fools won't take it, so don't advise till asked. Alexander who says it is a folly to be wise where ignorance is bliss. Foolish wolves rush in the where angles fear to read. My fifth story is united with united we stand, divided we fall. Once upon a time, three sons were engaged in mercantile business under the supervision of their father. They were very rich. Each son was proficient in his own department. If one was good in sales, the other one was competent in purchase. Similarly, the third one is fiance. Unlucky. One day, the father got bedridden, and the sons decided to divide the business under the policy that each of them was an expert in their own way and can handle their individual business. So slowly they the father was glum and grumpy with their decision, but was helpless, and unfortunately the the serpents took place. As a result, the three sons become each other competitors with the passage of time, they started having hug losses in their respective businesses. They tried all possible ways to succeed, but the situation became worse. Then they came to their father for a piece of advice. The father said, when you were doing the business jointly, the business ran successfully. It was not that anyone of you was responsible for the success of the business. Rather, traitors of all three of you put together made the business successful. The sons realized their mistakes mistake got renewed. Moral of the story: united we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.
My name is Yashwansu and I am from Meerut, and today I am going to read the story Treasure Hunt. Let's start. Here we go. Danny and Susie were walking to school when Susie noticed something under the bushes. What is that? Susie asked as she pointed to the bush. I'm not sure. Danny reached down to grab it. It was a book and it looked old. The title of the book was Buried Treasure. He started looking through the book. It was full of different maps that were supposed to lead a buried treasure. Wow, this book looks great. Susie and I also want to look it. But when we but we would better get to school before we're late. Danny and Susie anxiously awaited recess when they would have time to get a better look at the book. Their friend Fred also joined them. On the benches at recess time, Susie sat in the middle, holding the book and turning the pages. Each treasure map had an explanation for where it would be found and what the treasure was supposed to be. The stories were very exciting. And Susie, Danny, and Fred let their minds run wild. They wished that there was a treasure map of their own town for them to explore. What a fun adventure that would be! They were getting towards the end of the book when the slip of a paper fell out. Oh, this book must be really old. It's falling apart, Fred said. Danny opened the paper. Danny opened the paper. It had the name of their town on the top, and it was map of their town. There was a marking on the map. The friends looked closer. One It looked like the markings on the map on other maps in the book, and there meant one thing: treasure. The end of the school day couldn't come fast enough. They wanted to go on their own adventure. After school, the friends meet at Danny's house. They had talked to their parents and looked at the treasure map with them. And Danny's parents had agreed to drive them around to try to find the treasure. The friends peeled the car. Where to Danny's dad asked. Susie looked at the map. The train started at the pool in the middle of the town. Since Danny was sitting in the front seat next to his dad, he volunteered to give the directions. Susie handed over the map to Danny. The map showed that they had to take a left turn by the pool. Then they headed then they headed towards the library. From the library, they turned right by the grocery store. Straight from the grocery store was a park where the map seemed to stop. What do you think treasure is? Asked Fred. I don't know, but I hope it will be good, said Danny. When Danny's dad parked the car, the friends got out of it. Now was the hard part. Where in the park was the treasure? They started looking around for clues. Finally, Susie yelled out to Danny and Fred, and they came running over. I found it at first. I didn't think it was the treasure because it's not something we can pick up and take with us. But when you read it, you will see, Susie said. She pointed to the tree they were all standing by. On the trunk of the tree, someone has carved a message. It said, the best treasure is a good adventure with good friends. There were some names carved onto tree. Wow, that's true. It was fun going on a treasure hunt with you both. Let's sign our names too. The friends carved their names and Danny's dad took a picture of them all with the tree. Even though they didn't get to keep anything, they agreed that it was a great day. My second my second story is work, work, work. A man was going through a forest. He was tired and sat under a tree to rest. Near the tree there were some bushes. In the bushes he heard a whistle. The man got up and went to look. He saw a bottle lying under a bush. The whistle was coming from inside the bottle. The man opened the bottle to look inside. Immediately, a lot of black smoke came out from the bottle. The smoke rose high in the sky. The smoke turned into a genie. It was big genie, as tall as a tree. The genie was red in color. It had red eyes, a large golden earrings in its ears. It roared, give me work, or I shall eat you up. The man was very frightened. What sort of work do you want? He asked the genie. Any kind of work, it replied. You have to let me out from the bottle. So you have to give me work to do. I must keep working day and night. The moment you stop giving me work, I shall eat you up. Take me to my house, the man said. The genie picked up the man in a second. He reached the man's house. Again he said, give me some work or shall eat you up. Make a big palace for my family, the man said. In a few minutes, the palace was ready. The genie said again loudly, give me some work or I shall eat you up. Get, get me plenty of gold and jewels, the man said. Soon the gold and jewels were there. Give me some work or I shall eat you up, the genie again said. Get nice clothes Get me nice clothes to wear. At once it brought clothes. Give me some work or I shall eat you up. It again said, get me a nice food. In a second the man found a table loaded with sumptuous food. He tried to eat up he tried to eat up, but he got no time. The genie again said, give me some work or I shall eat you up. The man kept giving the work to the genie. He could not eat at all. When night came, the genie did not let him sleep. Give me some work, or I shall eat you up. The genie said again and again. Next morning, he got up and went outside. He saw the genie going up and down on the pillar. As the previous day, he said to the genie that bring a pillar here and my order is go up and down here. Many days passed. The genie kept on going up and down the pillar, and the month had been passed. It was still doing it. It now felt a little tired. Please, sir, it said to the man, may I stop now? I have been going up and down the pillar for a month. How can you stop? The man said. You cannot stop till I tell you so. Keep on going up and down the pillar. Another 3 months passed. Now the genie was really tired. Sir, it said, I can't do it anymore. I must stop now. You can stop on one condition. The man said, you must go away from here and never came back. I promise, the genie said. Very well, you may stop now and take away that pillar with you. The genie picked up the pillar and ran away. The man never saw it again. Thank you.
I am Dr. Neeta, student of the ESC, and today I am going to speak about the lead liver disease. So, here we go. In our section on the liver disease, let us first get brief input to understand the normal functioning of the liver as an organ. This would help us to understand the clarity of the variety of conditions associated with abnormal liver functioning, namely infective hepatitis, liver cirrhosis, liver hepatic coma. From your understanding of the applied physiology, you already know that liver is the largest and most complex organ in the body. Let us briefly recall its function of the liver. The function of the liver are most varied and extensive, and any change in the normal function can affect the nutritional status of an individual. Liver is considered one of the most important organs involved in the metabolism of each and every nutrient. Damage caused to the liver can impair these and many vital processes in the body. The simple digested product of the carbohydrate like glucose, fructose and galactose, fat, protein, vitamins and minerals are taken to the liver. The liver store many functions and also produce new compounds which may contain fat and protein. Product that help clotting of the blood. Liver also remove nitrogen produced as a result of the protein breakdown and convert clotting and liver also remove nitrogen produced as a result of the protein breakdown and convert it into the urea, which is then excreted from the blood to the kidney. It also removes several toxins. Liver has very important role to play in metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism. Now Let us get to know about various metabolism. First, carbohydrate metabolism. Liver cells store energy in the form of glycogen and release it as a glucose when required. This conversion of the sugar from carbohydrate to glucose is known as glycogenolysis. In the absence of carbohydrate, the protein can also convert it to glucose, which is known as gluconeogenesis. In liver cells, both glycogenolysis and glyconeogenesis help to maintain normal blood sugar level. Constitution between the guts, fat metabolism. It relates to the production of the triglyceride and phospholipids. Liver synthesizes lipoproteins which are required for transport of the lipid to the peripheral tissue for use of the storage. It synthesizes cholesterol and converts 80% into the bile and conjugated bile salt, and remainder is transported in the form of lipoprotein. It also involved in the oxidation of the fatty acid to acetyl coenzyme to give energy and synthesis of the bile and conjugation of the bile salt. Protein metabolism. Liver remove nitrogen from the amino acid known as deamination, which then could be used as the energy source converted to the carbohydrate and fat. It also convert ammonia to urea, that is the waste product of the protein breakdown. It is the site of the most plasma protein synthesis. It acts as a reverse of these protein to replenish serum protein. It maintains level of non-essential amino acid which promote tissue synthesis. Next, mineral and vitamins metabolism. Liver is a storehouse of the iron and is essential for hemoglobin formation and is stored in the form of ferritin. Liver destroy RBC and recover the iron from it. Other minerals like zinc and copper, many vitamins are also stored in the liver and play a role in enzymatic reaction in the metabolism. Liver is a storehouse of all fat-soluble vitamin. It is involved in conversion of carotene to retinol. It also needs for the activation of prothrombin and conversion of vitamin D to its active form 125 dihydroxycalciferol. Other function: liver convert carotene to retinol, a form of the vitamin A. It synthesizes heparin, which prevent intravascular coagulation. Now we will read about the disease itself by the liver. So let us to know more about it. Jaundice. Jaundice is the term given to the yellow discoloration of the skin, mucous membrane, and sclera and body tissue because of accumulation of bile pigment in the blood. It results due to an increased bilirubin content of the blood above the normal range. Thank you.